Hey Nation, I'm Derek, and welcome to Lions Express Report. The Detroit Lions are at a crossroads, and the choices made this offseason could determine whether they take the final leap into NFL greatness or fall short once again. The energy around the franchise is electric, and the front office, led by General Manager Brad Holmes and head coach Dan Campbell, is pulling every lever available to ensure they leave no room for regret. As the team stares down a season brimming with expectation, the Lions are not playing it safe. They're going all in. Whether it's reworking key positions on offense, scouting future game changers in the draft, or targeting impact veterans in free agency, Detroit is crafting a high-risk, high-reward blueprint that could either ignite a championship run or redefine the roster altogether. The stakes? Higher than ever. The moves? Aggressive. The payoff? Potentially historic. Let's break down the key pieces of this explosive off-season strategy, and why the football world needs to start paying very close attention to what's unfolding in Detroit. Before, can I ask for your support? If you like our videos, take a moment to click the like button. It's a small action that really helps us. Thank you for your kindness. There's no question, the Lions are doubling down on their offensive identity by keeping the core intact, betting that a healthy roster can deliver on the unfinished promise of last season. That approach speaks volumes about their belief in the roster, and their refusal to let injuries dictate the narrative. However, not everyone is sticking around. Veteran offensive guard Kevin Zeitler has exited via free agency, leaving a notable void in the trenches. That move, though expected, signals a subtle evolution in how Detroit wants to build up front. Still, the bigger story is what's happening in the tight end room. Keenly aware of how critical that position is to the rhythm and versatility of their offense, the Lions made two strategic additions: Kenny Yeboah, formerly of the New York Jets, and Shane Zylstra, a familiar face returning to the fold. These additions aren't just filler, they're meant to spark fire. Both players will push for the TE2 spot behind breakout star Sam Laporta, and the competition is already making waves. That puts Wright directly in the spotlight, and not in a good way. After logging over 50% of offensive snaps in 2024, mostly as a blocking tight end, Wright returned on a matched 3-year, $12 million offer sheet from the 49ers. But his performance failed to match the price tag, grading out at a disappointing 50.7 in run blocking and a 52.0 overall offensive grade. Wright ranked 66th out of 74 eligible tight ends. His stat line, 13 catches, 100 yards, 2 touchdowns, just isn't cutting it. In a high-stakes roster environment, those numbers don't guarantee you a roster spot. With Yeboah and Zylstra pressing in, and the possibility of drafting a more dynamic blocking tight end in round 7, Wright's grip on his role may be slipping fast. For a team aiming for elite status, every role must elevate, especially one as crucial as tight end depth behind Laporta. When Brad Holmes zeroes in on a draft target, you take notice. And right now, one name keeps surfacing in Detroit's pre-draft meetings: Josiah Stewart. The former Michigan edge rusher has met with the Lions 3 separate times, indicating serious interest and serious potential. At first glance, Stewart might not fit the typical edge mold. He stands 6 feet 1 inch and weighs 245 pounds, on the lighter side by NFL standards. But what he lacks in prototypical size, he more than makes up for in grit, burst, and pure disruption. After transferring from Coastal Carolina, Stewart made an instant impact for the Wolverines, racking up 33 tackles, 8.5 sacks, and 2 forced fumbles in his senior season. Even more impressive, he did it against offensive linemen outweighing him by as much as 80 pounds, yet still managed to win battles with speed, leverage, and relentless pursuit. Detroit's interest in Stewart isn't just local loyalty. It's strategic. He fits the Lions' aggressive, high-motor defensive identity. And with Aiden Hutchinson anchoring one side, Stewart could thrive in a rotational role with the upside to become a long-term difference maker. He's the kind of late-round gem Holmes is famous for finding: low risk, high ceiling, and hungry to prove the doubters wrong. And let's not ignore the emotional angle. A Michigan Wolverine stepping into the spotlight for the Detroit Lions? That's the kind of full-circle moment that sends fan energy through the roof and creates instant connection between city and player. Stewart could be more than just a draft pick. He could be a symbol of homegrown grit and next-level potential. While the Lions are clearly building for the future through the draft, they haven't overlooked the importance of proven experience, especially when it comes to the pass rush. Enter Demarcus Walker, a veteran edge rusher who recently met with Detroit and brings exactly the kind of consistency and toughness this defense needs. At 30 years old, Walker is no longer an unknown quantity. He started all 17 games last season for the Chicago Bears and brings with him 29 starts over the last 2 years. Originally drafted in the second-round back in 2017, Walker has transformed from occasional contributor into a steady force on the edge. Over the past 2 seasons, he's racked up 3.5 sacks per year, 16 tackles for loss, and 32 quarterback hits. His breakout year came in 2022 with the Titans, when he recorded a career-high 7 sacks. Even more compelling is his consistency. He's posted at least 30 quarterback pressures in each of the last 4 seasons. This is the kind of production Detroit desperately needs, especially given the injury roller coaster they endured last year. With Aiden Hutchinson doing everything he could to hold down the front, injuries to Marcus Davenport, Alan McNeil, and Mekhi Wingo left major holes. Although Hutchinson is expected to bounce back and Davenport was re-signed, the recovery timelines for McNeil and Wingo, both ACL-related, remain uncertain. Holmes summed it up perfectly. We feel pretty good, and they should, but that doesn't mean they're standing pat. The potential addition of Demarcus Walker would give them a seasoned pressure artist who can stabilize the edge rotation and help unlock the full force of this defense. What do you think of the Lions' aggressive off-season strategy? Do you believe Wright deserves another shot, or should Detroit invest in a new tight end? Could Josiah Stewart be the next late-round steal for Brad Holmes? And is Demarcus Walker the veteran presence this defense needs to take the next step? Leave in the comments what move Brad Holmes should do. Remember to leave your like and subscribe to the channel. Be another fan of our community, and let's strengthen the Lions. Until the next video,